Hey, it's Mike here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a video called Quitting My $15 an Hour Job and Now Making $200,000 per month from a channel Joshua Mayo. This video has almost 500,000 views on it already. I'm going to go ahead and give him a like here. If you guys can like my video as well, it really helps out with my YouTube channel, and I appreciate it so much. And hit that subscribe button and bell notification. Let's jump into it and see how this guy's making $200,000 every single month.
So my first real job out of college was working as an assistant at a staffing agency. This job's starting pay was $15 per hour, which came out to about $480 per week, or about $2,000 per month after taxes.
You know, $2,000 a month is not horrible. It depends where you live in the world. Like if you live in India, it's great, but if you live in New York City, you're going to be really struggling with that kind of income.
This means that my take-home income was only about $24,000 per year. However, over the past few months, I've been consistently earning over $200,000 per month in income, a very big jump from the $2,000 per month that I was earning at my real job.
No, this guy's really successful. Like I've seen a lot of his stuff. He's got his YouTube channel that does very well. He's got other programs that he runs. He's got his stuff together.
And I want to talk with you guys about how exactly I did this. How was I able to go from just making $15 per hour to now making over $200,000 per month in income? Because folks, not that long ago, I was sitting in the same exact spot as you. And then I finally opened my eyes.
Here's the thing. I think that a lot of people think like it's impossible to make that kind of money. And it's not easy, but if he can do it, it means that anyone can do it. I think we look at these people, especially people that have attained a lot of success, and we think, oh, they've got some special skill. They must be so much smarter than I am. But from a lot of millionaires that I've spoken to in my experience, it's really not like that. A lot of these people don't really, like, you'd be so surprised that they're actually making so much money and they're so unorganized.
So I never told anybody this except for my immediate family, but back in 2015, after spending 4 years of my life in college, I actually failed to graduate. You see, I never actually applied myself in college because I've always hated school. And so here I am in 2015, this young kid fresh out of college, $30,000 in student loan debt with no college degree to show for it. This means I had zero prospects out of college.
That's rough if you go to college for all that time and you don't even get a degree. Like, you paid all that money and then you don't get that degree. I mean, the degree, it's a lot of people would argue that college is it worth it? Is it not worth it? For me, I majored in English literature and Spanish language. So maybe it helped me in my marketing writing. I'm not sure.
And because of that, my first real job out of college was as an assistant at a staffing agency. And honestly, this job was fine. It was comfortable. I had my own office. I got free coffee. I could go into work dressed any way I wanted. It was fine. But after spending 1 year at this job, I quickly realized something that would go on to change my life forever. And the thing that I realized was that every single one of us has a choice. We could either choose to just sit back and just go with the flow, you know, get a decent job with benefits, go home, eat.
Those benefits are nice though. Like coming from someone I'm self-employed and I have to pay for things like health insurance, where when I first got out of college, I worked at Georgetown University as a marketing assistant, and it was kind of similar to what he had there. I had my own office. I just kind of sat back and did my work. It wasn't too hard. It made about $40,000 a year, which back in 2004, 2005 was pretty decent. But yeah, I could have kept with that. I could probably be making, right now, if I'd stuck with it, I'd probably be making 6 figures a year, but I would be working really hard.
Dinner, numb your mind with useless TV shows or video games, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, get a paycheck, drive home, eat, TV, sleep, over and over again until you die. Or you could wake up. You could stop, turn around, and then start walking against the flow and realize that everything around you was conceived by somebody who was just like you.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader.
Gotta love Steve Jobs.
Once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
Yeah, like I said before, exactly what I said before. All these people aren't smarter than you are. They're just like regular people just like you.
And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing.
You see, folks, the only thing stopping you from achieving your goals, the one thing standing in your way, is the person that you see when you look in the mirror. Because you have the choice to choose between mediocrity or excellency. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. And so here I was spending 40 hours per week working this, $15 per hour job, using my time to make somebody else richer. Because remember, I'm working for another company, right? And this company hired me to leverage my time to help build their wealth. And so here I am spending my years of my limited life making somebody else's dreams come true, when instead I could be using my years of my life to make my dreams come true. And
So much better.
it was at this moment when I realized this truth that my eyes were completely opened.
Ooh, part one. Choice.
Jay, you're gonna be the first millionaire in the family, son. Don't take that responsibility lightly. You have to choose to make that a reality.
That was what my father told me when I was just 6 years old. And so with those words deeply ingrained into who
That's a lot of pressure, though, to put on a kid from his dad.
I am, I knew that it was time to make a choice. I could either choose to just continue working this mediocre job and solidify my destiny as just another tiny cog in a great big machine, or I could choose the opposite. And so I quickly turned in my 2-week notice and left the security of this job that was paying me only $15 per hour.
You got to be careful, though. I know people tell you, like, oh, you should quit your job and follow your dreams, but you better make sure that you've got enough money to pay for your rent and your food for quite a while you're doing that. You need to have that cushion, or you're going to get a rude awakening.
And so here I am, no money in my bank account, no prospects, no
Dangerous.
college
It will light a fire under your butt.
degree, no connections, nothing. But there was one thing that I did still have, something that nobody else in this world can take away from me, and that was a choice. At this moment, at the rock bottom, I could choose to give up. I could go back and try and find another job, maybe one that's gonna pay me a little bit more than $15 per hour if I got lucky. And I could do that, and I could just choose to, settle for mediocrity. Or I could choose to stand up, and in the face of all the odds against me, I could choose to reach for excellency. And so for the next few years, I put my head down and I went to work. I began starting different businesses, trying different things, taking risks, and not being afraid to fail. And
You're going to love these older videos that you see of people that are successful now, where you can see just the bare basics of what they've done. Like, it's really fun sometimes to go and look back at YouTube channels, especially just to see where they came from.
step by step, each failure, each attempt brought me closer and closer to success. And last year, I earned over $613,000 from my YouTube channel. And this year,
That's great. That's crazy.
with the help of other businesses as well as my YouTube channel, my goal is to earn $2 million in income.
I bet he'll do it. He'll make well over $1 million.
And folks, every single one of you watching this video has the same exact choice. Settle for mediocrity or fight for excellency.
Build. What's this?
Yo, what's up, Joshua? Just wanted to tell you I really appreciate you, bro. The way you share your story really motivates me. But let me tell you, bro, I need help. I'm truly lost on where I should start. What's the next move I should take? This is tough, dog.
Now, my story sounds good, right? But what about you? Because after you get done watching this video, after you've made the choice to start pursuing your ambitions, what's the next step? Well, the next step is that you need to start building something for yourself immediately. Start a business, start some type of side hustle.
I really think YouTube channel is where it's at, by the way. For anyone watching, like starting a YouTube channel and just kind of going where you're interested in, is you have to be a little bit careful. You need to be interested in stuff that's going to make a little bit of money, but that's where it is. It's so easy to build an audience on YouTube. You don't have to spend money on ads. It's a great thing to start.
Right? Start doing something that's gonna break you out of this monotonous routine that you're currently stuck in. Because if you just continue doing what you've always done, then your results will always be the same. When I left my low-paying job, the first thing I did was start a business. It failed, and so I started another business. It failed, and so I started yet another business.
How many businesses have I started that have failed? I had one that was making AdSense niche sites, and it failed. badly. And you just keep on working, and hopefully something will eventually work.
And guess what? It failed again. But the difference though is that I never gave up. I knew that each of those failures was a lesson learned, and that eventually all those lessons will compound into experience that would help me to accomplish my biggest goals. Now,
and plus, while you're doing these different things, by the way, you'll learn different skills. Like you might learn how to build a website. You might learn how to do email marketing. You might learn how to do ads. You might learn how to do SEO. All these things that can eventually maybe get to the thing that's actually going to work for you, but you'll have built all these skills up in the process, and it'll be much easier. Like your next one that you start will be much easier than the one before.
Now, you're probably thinking to yourself right now, but Joshua, I don't know what business or side hustle to start. Folks, my entire channel is dedicated to this exact thing. After you finish watching this video, go to my channel and just start watching my videos. I even have a dedicated tool that I built called the Side Hustle Database that will help you to select the best side hustles or business you can start based on specific filters that you select. But
That's a smart kind of tool. I bet he's got affiliate links and stuff in there, but that's a cool idea.
it's going to be critical for you to learn how to start being resourceful. Everything that you need to be successful at basically anything can be found online completely free. For example, when I first started this YouTube channel, there were plenty of free tools and resources that I used to get my channel to where it is today, to get it to a point where I'm consistently making over $200,000 per month in income. And I fully believe that YouTube is a legitimate option for a lot of people watching this video. Plus, it's a highly scalable business. Now, there are going to be some of you who are thinking, yeah, but Joshua, I don't want to do YouTube. But what else could I do to start making life-changing money? And the truth is that you're not really going to know what you want to do until you just start trying stuff. The first 3
Yeah, just try stuff. Like that's the thing. You want to try a bunch of different things, see what you want to do. Maybe you like making videos. Maybe you hate making videos. Maybe you'd rather write. Maybe you'd rather actually go out and do local marketing. Like there's so many different things to do.
to 4 businesses that I ever started were all ideas that ended up becoming nothing. But if I never started those first businesses, then I would have never had the confidence to start the next one, and then the next one, which eventually led to me being where I'm at today. And folks, just keep in mind, right? Starting a business doesn't have to be this big ordeal that involves you writing a business plan and starting an LLC. No.
That's the worst thing. People think they need to go out there and like register a business name and get a logo created and do all like get business cards. I even did that. Like I started a business where it was called dcguide.com. It's a guide for Washington, D.C. And I got business cards created and t-shirts done, but I hadn't even like really made any money yet. And that business failed.
Starting a business could literally be you just sitting down one day and saying, you know what, I'm gonna start trying to sell print-on-demand motivational posters on Etsy. And then you go to Etsy, open a shop, go to Printify, open a free account, and then you watch the video on my channel where I go into detail about how to start one of these businesses. And so you start it, you try it for maybe 3 to 6 months, and if you don't like it, just stop. And then you try something else. Maybe you say to yourself, you know what, I wanna start a YouTube channel. And so you start making videos, but then after just 1 month, you find out that you really don't like making videos, and so you stop and you try something else. And what you'll find is that you'll end up trying a lot of different things before you find the one thing that just works for you. And you may even end up doing what I did, which is going back to previous business ideas that you already started and just trying them again. For example, this YouTube channel that you're watching right now is not my first channel. I've had several channels in the past that all essentially failed. And so what would happen every time is I would start making videos and I would be consistent, and it would just get to a point where I said, you know what, I don't really enjoy doing this anymore, and so I'm gonna stop. And then
I wonder why I didn't like it. I bet it looks like he was vlogging more. I bet he wasn't making very much in ad income. And then he started talking about making money online, and his ad income went way up.
I would go and start another business. For example, I started a real estate wholesaling business called Cash Homes Plus, and I tried that for a few months, but I really hated doing that, and so I stopped. But then I kept finding myself being drawn back to YouTube, right? And so I would go back to YouTube, start a new channel, and just try it again. And so you see, folks, if you ever want to get to a point where you're making a lot of money, and I'm talking about life-changing money, then you have to start taking action. You have to start trying things.
He hasn't even been making money on YouTube for so long, it doesn't look like. I mean, he talked about graduating in like 2015. Like, it's not like he's been doing this for years and years and years. It's fairly new. Risk. There's always risk.
I take you to this scene. 20 seconds left to go. You're down by 1. You want the ball. You want to take the last shot.
Absolutely. I'm not afraid to fail.
Folks, here's the truth about making a lot of money, right? There's not gonna be a clear, definitive path that you walk down. This path that people like you and I are walking down has never been walked down before. Because what we're doing is we're creating our own path, and that's what makes it so risky. When you go and work a 9-to-5 job, that path has already been created for you. When you get hired for a job, you have a very specific role with a very specific set of tasks that you have to complete. And
it's nice and it's easy. Like having a 9-to-5 job, it's not the worst thing. A lot of people watching this right now probably have a 9-to-5 job. And for some people, it's okay. Like I think there's also a negative, like these entrepreneur channels talk about how you're going to start your own side hustle and whatnot, but might not be for everyone. Like some people are just happy. Maybe they're making a pretty good salary working for someone else, and it might not even make sense for them to change their job. So don't feel like you have to necessarily start a side hustle
in order to keep your job and receive a paycheck. But here's the thing, because that path has already been created for you, the rewards that come with that path will be very small. Whereas the harder path that hasn't been created, although it will require a lot more work, will have significantly greater rewards. And what you'll find is that when you start walking down this harder path, if you just don't give up, you'll eventually find the business or the thing that works best for you. And that business will start making you money. And then eventually it'll start making you life-changing money. Let's say that this business eventually makes you $1 million per year.
Look at that savings account. I wonder if that's really a savings account there. We got $1 million in it.
After taxes. You spend 20% of that, or about $200,000, just enjoying life, enjoying yourself. But then you take the remaining 80% of that, or about $800,000, and you start investing it into performing assets. Things that are gonna make you money even when you're not actively working. And so now, not only are you making all this money from your business, but you're also making all this money from your investments. And you're just getting wealthier and wealthier every single day.
Investments can be risky too, though.
Now you're making more money in 1 week than most people are making in a year. And all of this started because 5 years ago, you decided that despite having no money, no skills, no connections, nothing, you decided to just take the leap and start something. Folks, the reason I was able to go from making $15 per hour, or about $24,000 per year, to making $24,000 in just a few days, about $50,000 per week, which actually sounds really crazy to say out loud, but the only reason I was able to do that was because I just simply started something. I didn't overthink it. I didn't wait for the perfect time.
Don't wait for the perfect time. There will never be a perfect time.
I just started. Now, folks, listen, okay? I understand that this message is not gonna be for everyone, but my assumption is that most of you watching don't wanna take the traditional route. You wanna be wealthy, right? You wanna be able to live your life however you want. You wanna be able to buy whatever you want, take vacations whenever you want. You don't want your life and your time and your money to be controlled by somebody in the HR department at your job. You want control over those things.
Sure, that's me. I need control. I don't know if I'd be employable anymore. Like if I had to get a job somewhere, it would be hard. I would be looking at the way that they're doing things, and I'd want to change everything.
Am I right? Well, then start taking control.
What do you guys think of this video? I really liked it. I think it was really an honest and open portrayal of what he does, and he's really successful. Kudos to him. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and like it. It really helps out with my YouTube channel, and I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button and bell notification. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks.